Hello grade 12s. This video I'm specifically doing for the test which you will be writing on Thursday. Now just a summary of the test. It's going to be 2 questions. One is going to be an analytical mechanical, and the second question is going to be a CAM. Now you have already experienced these 2 pages of the CAM, which is a CAM displacement diagram and a CAM profile drawn from there, each separately on the chat that I've sent a week ago. So now I'm going to blend the 2, and if you look at this video, this is basically what you are going to be doing in your test. Okay, so listen very attentively. If you look at the given, there's a CAM shaft, right, which is that upright part there, and it has a roller-ended follower, which is that roller-ended follower there, which is that circle there, and you will see that that circle is 14 diameter, circumference to circumference. So it has a radius of 7, right? That is what you need to understand there. The follower is 55 up from the center of the roller follower. Okay. Then you have a vertical center line which is given to you. If that is not given to you, you must create it yourself, and you must create a little starter point which is C there. That C will correspond with this C crossing over there. If it's not given to you, you must create it yourself. Right? And then it says for the specifications, there's a CAM shaft of diameter 20. So this here, and I'm coloring that in, that's your CAM shaft, which is going to go around that center point there, diameter 20. Alright. The next bullet says the minimum distance from the CAM profile to the center of the CAM shaft is 23. So from the center again, it should be 23. Now the 23 is still there. I want to point it out till there. But you'll see there's a 30. So that is the extra part there is a 7. So if you take the 23 plus the 7, it's going to give you the entire 30 that you see there. Okay, just take note of that. We have 23 from this center to the bottom of this wheel here, 23, plus the 7, which is the diameter, the radius there, gives you the whole of 30. But you can just draw 30 and then you work your way around the roller follower. Okay? Then you go and look at the instructions. Leave the specifications for the movement out first, because that just tells you how the CAM displacement diagram is going to follow. So the instruction says that you must draw this part here to scale. Now let's do that first. So the first thing that I'm going to do is going to focus on the center and drawing that 20 diameter. On my circle template, I'm going to look for 20, and there is 20, and I'm going to perfectly align it and then draw that there. Okay, I'm going to draw it very roughly. What I'm also going to do, or what I like doing, is to just hatch that so that I know that is a CAM shaft that I'm busy with there. Right. Then the next part is going to be 30 from the center up. So I'm going to measure 30 up like that. There's my 30 point. And there I'm going to mark it. And that's going to be that center of that 14. So I'm going to go, that's going to be the center of my 14. So I'm going to look for 14. I have 14 here. Here's my 14. And I'm going to place my circle of 14 perfectly around that. And then I'm going to draw that 14 diameter there. Alright. And now I'm going to complete the rest, which is going to be 55 up from there. There's my 55. I'm going to mark it there. There's my top point, and I've got a width of 10. which is going to be 5 and 5 both sides, 5 and 5 both sides, and I can actually just darken that from there to there and there to there, and then just the top part there. Okay, I'm drawing it very roughly, need I to remind you, so my work is going to be slightly inaccurate. I can, however, place my compass point on here, on my center, and just draw a minimum radius from that point there right around. So I'm going to draw a light circle there. That's my minimum radius, which I have there. That's the first part. Now, very importantly, learners, now you're going to create the base for my cam displacement diagram. So my base comes from the center of my roller follower. So there I created this space here. I'm going to have a starter line, which I'm going to draw right here, very close there, and that I'm going to label as 0. And then it says in my instruction that the displacement graph should have a horizontal scale of 8 millimeters equals to 30 degrees. So now I have to be very accurate. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to have 8 millimeter spacings. So it's 8 and then 16 and then 24 is there, right? So I'm going to do that 8 spacings 12 times. Just remember 12 times. So let me go for it. 16, 24, 8, 16, 24. Very accurately I do that. 8, 16, 24. Let me just count. 1, 2, and I count the gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I've got it. Then what I'm going to do with each of my lines, I'm going to project them up faintly, like that. Each one perfectly drawn vertically up. Okay, that. I check my spacings again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is going to be 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, 310, sorry, 330, my apologies, and then 360, which is back to the start. That's what we're going to have there. All right, and now we can start plotting this. So we're going to our specifications for the movement as the follower progresses throughout one revolution. So it says in the first bullet, the cam rotates anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise means that I will have my arrow that way, right? It's anti-clockwise, and it imparts in uniform, which is basically just straight lines. And then it says here from 0, where we are at the moment, from 0 to 60. So 0, there's my 60. The follower rises by 15. So from there to there, it rises by 15. So I'm going to take my ruler on the 60 mark, and I'm going to plot it 15 millimeters up, right, there it is. And then I'm going to draw a dark line from there to there. Okay, so for the first 60, it goes up by 15 millimeters. Right, that's out of the way. Then from 60 to 90, to the next one, it dwells. So it's going to be a straight line. And and it dwells, it's not going up or down. And then it says from 90 to 165. Now there is no 165, it is in between somewhere. So where are you going to find 165? 165 is going to be between 150 and 180, perfectly in half. So perfectly in half is going to be 4 millimeters in half. So if that's 8, then you have 4 millimeters there, and you're going to draw a 165 perfectly in half there. So it says here, from the 90, it goes to 165, where the follower rises by 35. So on top here, on top there, where we are at the moment, there's going to be another 35 that we measure. So we're going to go 35, and that's going to be there. Okay, that's my 35 that it rises from here now, because that's the line we are in, and on 165 it goes up till there. So now you have to draw a solid line there. Right, that's what it says. And then from 165 to 195 it dwells. Now where's 195? 195 is going to be between 180 and 210, which is also a division perfectly in half, which is 4, and you're going to draw a faint line up. It's an in-betweener, and it dwells, so meaning that it doesn't go anywhere, it just dwells for that period till there. Alright, that's out of the way. And then from 195 to 330, the follower falls by 35. Right, so onto this one here, which is 330, it falls. So if that is your ultimate height, you must drop it by 35 there. So there it comes down by 35 on that height. So you're going to have a line that goes down like that there. Because it says here from 195, which is there, it drops or falls 35, which is there. And then from 330 to 3, the follower returns to its original position, which is just this last stretch that it goes. There we go. And there you have completed your cam displacement diagram. So all you need to do is to draw 2 5mm lines apart to write here cam displacement graph, right? You're going to write that there because you're going to get a mark for that, and you're going to write the scale here as well, and the scale is 8 millimeters equals 30 degrees. You need to write those down. Okay, so if you want to, you can actually just draw that like that, and you can bring this across because that is your height of your graph until there. And then what I would suggest you do is you draw an outside diameter, which is where you put your compass point here, there, and you open it up till the side here. Just want to fix my quickly fix my compass. So just take another compass, which is bigger. So I'm going to put it there, open it up there. I'm going to draw a circle right around like that there. Okay? So you have done last year in grade 11. There. That's my maximum. Now I'm going to take it from linear to rotary. So I have to divide it up into 4 parts first. So my 4 parts will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to go further developing into 12 parts by using my 60 and my 30 degree set square. There. And I'm going to do this one through the midpoint there, and then I'm going to draw my 60 through the midpoint there, and the last one I'm going to draw this one there, just follow it through on that side. And now I can actually label it. Now remember, if it's anti-clockwise like this is 0, that's 360. Here on top, you can see, if I could just move that up a little bit, that's 360. And then you go clockwise, because that goes anti-clockwise, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270, 300, 330, 360. Ends over there. And now, all you have to do is, you are now going to bring that across. That's already there, the 0. So now all these points crossing here, all these points which are crossing there, they're all going to be brought over to complete your cam profile. So let me do the 31. So there I bring my 31 across until there, and then all I have to do is I project that on this point over there. And I'm going to clearly mark it there. So I'm going to bring all my points across. There's this, the 60 and the 90 are both in the same line, so I'm going to go there and just bring those 2 points across like that there, like that there. Okay, go to the next one. That is my 120. Put it on here, just project it across to my 120 mark. Here we go. Let's go to my next one, which is 150. 150 till there. Put it on my 150 mark there, and bring that to my 150 point. There we go. And then I've got 2 points which would be in between the 150. So they are going to be situated in here, and the other one is going to be situated in between here, in between that little part there. So how do you get the middle? There's various ways. A quick way of doing it is that you open up this part there, and all you do is you just swing it that side, and you swing it this side here, and you do the same thing here. Swing it there, or arc it there, and then you just have to take that crossing back to the center, which is basically going to be that there, and it's going to be basically this there, and then this is going to be your 165, and this is going to be your 195 point, and both of them, if you follow them where they are, they're going to be on the most outside point, which is going to be here, and it's going to be here, and the 180 is going to be here as well. Okay, so there are 3 points. The one is 165, 180, and the 195. Those are the 3 points, right? That's not a point. And then it drops down for the 210. The 210 comes from here on there, and you put your compass point here, you put it on there. Now you can swing it this way. Right. Here's your 210 points. And then you are going to do the next one, which is your 240. 240 comes over, put it on here, decrease it till there, and there's your 240 points. And then you are going to do the next one, which is your 270. Bring it across in the center, and you arc just there. That's your next point over here. And then you're going to go to your 300. And you can see I'm doing each one individually. 300 is there. That is projected there. And then the second last one is going to be the 330, which is around about there in the same line as that point there. So that it's just going to be taken over. And there's that point there. And the last point will end 360 where we started. Right, there are all your points. Now, the interesting part comes in. Then you are going to draw a similar circle like that around each of the points. So you have to work your circle template now, and that radius is 14. That's 14, so you're going to go and do a 14 right around each one there. You move it on your T-square like that, very quickly. Angle it in the center, in the middle. I'm doing it very fast, like that. You can do it dark, it's not a problem, or light. Each one gets a nice perfect circle around it, like that, and like that. Anchor it nicely around each one of it. Like I say, you must draw it very accurately. I am drawing it very fast. And very inaccurate as well, but the concept is very important in my explanation. And there's the second last one. And there you've got all your circles. And now what you do is you start here by drawing a line touching. The line must touch the bottom part of all your circles, and you must let it flow. No sharp edges, let it flow, and you can just let it touch. And this is the only part where you draw freehand, but you have to draw that light first. So if there are any sharp points or anything that you want to erase, you can do it very quickly like that, right? And then it takes a turn like that there. And once you have that, now you are going to draw with pencil. I'm just using a pen so that you can see clearly what must be done. But no pens are allowed. The drawing of pen in engineering, graphics and design is not allowed of any sort. And there I go over, completing my CAM profile drawn from my CAM displacement graph. And that is what your test is going to be. Okay, watch the video, pose questions if you need to, but I think we are going to be sorted for Thursday. Thank you so much.